Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am Chelsea. You know what? Today is serious business. I posted a link yesterday and there has been some new rules for international students, which is not a good news at all. So the Minister for Immigration, something Fraser, has come out to say that they are putting a cap on international students that are coming into Canada due to housing issues and so many things. So I'm going to read it and then I'll explain as I go on. So international students, these are very unimportant. They enrich our communities and blah 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 blah. But where I want to read is for 2024, the cap is expected to result in approximately 360,000 approved study permits. And then that means they are decreasing the percentage of international students they're taking by 35%, which is very, very huge. In the spirit of fairness, individual, provincial, and territorial caps have been established, weighted by population, which will result in much more significant decreases in provinces where the international student population has seen the most unsustainable growth. So from my understanding, what this means is, let's say they'll bring out the data and then they'll compare all the provinces, and then in the province are going to compare international students, and where the international students, they didn't see any important impact of the international students being in the province, they are going to cut the number of international students they take in that province. Basically, I think that's what that means. So there are so many things that they are doing. This is just a temporary measure. It's not something that you should be scared of because it's just going to be for 2 years. 2 years, what we are hoping for is that in that 2 years they don't squeeze it again and then they go back to their old rules as they are doing. Now they've increased the funds you need to come to Canada from 10,000 to 20,000 and above. And now they are cutting the number of international students they take in because of housing issues. And sadly, the other rules is about the spousal sponsorship. If you are in a college program, you can't come to school and then sponsor your partner. I mean, if you are coming to school, if you are not a master's or a doctoral student, you can't come to Canada with your spouse or your family or your kids. If you are going to a college or any post-secondary school that is not master's or PhD, you can't bring along your family. So what they are trying to do, I know most people come here, they do 1 year post-secondary course in a college and then they would like to bring their family. Now that thing is off. You can't do that unless you are in a master's or a doctoral program. So you have to think twice before you are coming because you can't come with your family. So now they are saying in order to better align the post-graduation work permit program, we are changing the eligibility criteria. Starting September 1st, 2024, international students who begin a study program that is part of a curriculum licensing arrangement will no longer be eligible for a post-graduation work permit upon graduation. So if you are in a school that is linked to another school, mostly some of these private schools are affiliated to some public schools. So if you go to a school like that, you should think twice because you might not qualify for post-graduation work permit. One thing I always tell people is, outside is not what you think when you are back home. Once you come here, you realize that it's totally different, and then don't just come because everyone is coming in because you want to travel. You will make a very big mistake. What's the essence of coming to a private school, paying $20,000, and then after school you become frustrated and then you can't apply for a postgraduate work permit? It's better you do your due diligence, do good research, come to a school that after you are done you are going to get your work permit, because there is no essence in going to a private school wasting money. All right, so under curriculum licensing agreement, students physically attend a private college that has been licensed to deliver the curriculum of an associated public college. These programs have seen significant growth in attracting international students in recent years, though they have less oversight than public colleges, and they act as a loophole with regards to post-graduation work permit eligibility. You know, it's easier to go into a private school because to them it's all about the money. They don't care about anything, it's about the money. So now, before you go to such schools, think twice. Don't even do it. Like, I won't even say think twice, because don't do it. Graduates of masters and other short graduate level programs will soon be eligible to apply for a 3-year work permit. So what this means is, I think now they are going to put the work permit to 3 years. If you do a master's program and it's 1 year, you can still qualify to get a 3 years work permit, which is good news, right? Because if you do masters for 1 year and then you get 1 year work permit, sometimes it's very sad if you compare to someone who did a college 8 months and you still get the same 1 year as them. So this is I think this is not just for master's students, because they said graduates of masters and other short graduate level programs. You understand? Under current criteria, the length of a post-graduation work permit is based solely on the length of an individual study program. So what they are saying for this is, what we have, like Canada has now, is if you do a 1 year post-secondary course, you get a 1 year work permit. If you do 2 years, you get 2 years work permit. If you do 3 years, you get 3 years work permit. But now, what they are saying is that is hindering master's graduates by limiting the amount of time they have to gain work experience and potentially transition to permanent residence. So now masters and PhD students they've put them on a higher pedestal to those doing colleges. So if you have the means, if you have the grace to do masters, opt for that instead of going to a college. That is the best option. That's your best bet, because now they've already cut the number of international students they are doing. So if your application is not really strong and convincing, just know that they are going to throw yours out, because you have to do a very strong application to be able to come to Canada for the next 2 years, unless you want to wait for this 2 years period to be over. But after 2 years, who knows what they are going to. We don't know if they are going to keep up with it or they are going to go back to their old self. So in the weeks ahead, open work permits will only be available to spouses of international students in master's and doctoral programs. If you are coming to college, you can bring your wife, you can bring your husband, unless you are a master's or a PhD student. The spouses of international students in other levels of study, including undergraduate and college programs, will no longer be eligible. Sad news. The important measures announced today complement other recently announced reforms to the international students program. Taken together, they aim to ensure genuine students receive the support they require and have the resources they need for enriching study experience in Canada, while at the same time stabilizing the overall number of students arriving and alleviating pressures on housing, healthcare, and other services in Canada. Like, international students that have come in a couple of years have complained so much, and that is the reason why all these things are happening. People are complaining so much. If you talk too much, they have to take action. If you come and you say you don't have a place to sleep and you are talking too much, you are going to prevent other people from finding a place, and that is why all these are happening. So that is it, guys. I'll attach a link in the video. You can watch, read, and then get more clarification on it. This is a sad news, but may the grace of God be with us all. If you are meant to be here, nothing is going to stop you from coming here. This shouldn't scare you. Now forget those colleges. Try to do your masters. I wouldn't say PhD, because PhD is way higher. It's difficult to get compared to masters. You can get a masters if you have good grades and a good letter of explanation or statement of purpose. So good luck to all those that are still pursuing their Canadian dream. Thank you for watching my video. See you next time. Bye.